The world can be a very harsh place where even family can turn against you. This is the true life confession of a woman who got married in 2021. She got married to her husband after postponing their wedding from 2020 due to the pandemic. A few months into their marriage, she became pregnant and they welcomed their first child. Her cousin, who had just graduated from the university and was waiting for her youth service, moved in with them to help her care for the baby. Not long after the cousin's arrival, the woman's husband changed drastically. He began treating her poorly, yelling at her, and behaving as if her cousin was his wife. The situation quickly worsened. While the woman did all the household chores, her cousin seemed to take over the home, and her husband even refused to sleep in the same room with her. When she asked her cousin to leave, her husband exploded in anger and threatened to throw her out instead. She was heartbroken, especially since her cousin, whom she had always supported and cared for, were alive, had now lost all respect for her with no family to turn to. As her parents had passed away, and with her husband's family indifferent to her suffering, she felt completely abandoned. She soon discovered that her husband was no longer sleeping in another room, as she thought, but in her cousin's room, and they made no effort to hide it. Imagine their effrontery. One morning, her husband called her into the living room where her cousin was already seated. He then revealed that her cousin was pregnant with his child and that he intended to marry her. Devastated and humiliated, the woman was told she would have to leave the house and she could take her child with her if she wished. A week later, she packed her things and left, heartbroken that her beloved husband showed no remorse and never contacted her after she left. Months later, her cousin and husband got married and had a baby, but tragedy struck when the child passed away 2 months after birth. Now, karma seemed to have caught up with them. Her husband had lost his job, and both he and her cousin were desperately searching for her, hoping to ask for forgiveness. However, the woman had moved on with her life. She had changed her and her child's name and found happiness again with a new fiancé who loved and cared for both her and her child. With her wedding approaching, she was planning to relocate abroad and begin a new chapter of her life, reflecting on how close she had come up to give up. She was grateful she hadn't taken her life when things were darkest. Looking at her child had given her the strength to keep going, to keep pushing, to keep striving. And now, she was living a life full of hope and joy. Who would have thought she never realized life could always turn around for the better?
If you like the video, please do well to like, comment, subscribe, turn on the notification button, and follow.